Hi, this is Sudhir and this is Visual Studio IDE tutorial. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, and IDE means a tool which is used for developing applications. For .NET, Microsoft Visual Studio is a tool which is used for developing .NET applications, and it is a product of Microsoft. Visual Studio is not a free source. That means companies has to pay to the Microsoft for the licensing of Visual Studio, and there are different versions and editions are there for Visual Studio. Based on the features required, we have to pay to the Microsoft for that licenses. So Visual Studio IDE is a powerful tool that simplifies the application development. You can easily work on .NET by using Visual Studio because it has a great features which helps in development of different applications. Here is the list of versions of Microsoft Visual Studio. The first version of Visual Studio is released in the year 2000, and that's known as Visual Studio, and it supports a framework version of 1.0. After that, Visual Studio 2003 is released, followed by 2005, 8, 10, 12, 13 and 15. And the latest updations have been of Visual Studios will be supporting its latest frameworks. For example, 2003 supports 1.1, 2005 supports 2.0, 2008 supports 2.02 to 3.5. Like that, 2015 supports 2.0 to 4.6. Like that, different versions of framework is being supported by different versions of Visual Studio. Visual Studio IDE comes with features like editor, compiler, debugger, IntelliSense, interpreter, designer and a lot more. So editor means you can edit the code and also you can edit the design using Visual Studio. It is used for compilation of your program. It is used for debugging. That means when the program is executed, you can see step-by-step execution where you can find what are the errors are there, what are the values present in the variables, everything you can trace them using debugger feature. IntelliSense means it's automatically show what are the methods can be used in that context. And interpreter means line by line execution, whereas designer is for designing your web pages or your Windows applications and other stuff. So as Visual Studio is an IDE, it's going to have a lot of windows. It's a tool, it's a Windows application. So here I have listed some of the shortcuts which will be very useful. So first is an editing window. Editing window is used for design and code your .NET applications. It is present in the center of Visual Studio where you can design your applications and also you can edit your code. Next, second one is Solution Explorer. The shortcut for Solution Explorer is Ctrl plus Alt plus L. You have to press the 3 keys to open the Solution Explorer. All the files present in your project can be seen in Solution Explorer, and they will be in a hierarchy order so that you can understand under which folder which files are present. And double click on each file will show you the content of that file in the editing window where you can edit and you can save immediately. The third one is Server Explorer. Ctrl plus Alt plus S is the shortcut for Server Explorer where you can see all database connections and other cloud everything connections will be showed at that location. Fourth one is Toolbox or a toolbar where Ctrl plus Alt plus X is a shortcut. All the controls will be present there. You can drag and drop them to design your web pages or your Windows applications. Fifth one is Properties, and F4 is the shortcut for Properties. It is used to modify the appearances of your controls by selecting and changing the properties like width, height, background color and different things. And also we have a window called Error List which has a shortcut like Ctrl plus W plus E, which is going to show all the errors, warnings and messages with all the detailed descriptions of the compilation errors, which helps you to remove the errors which is present in the compilation time. And F5 is the shortcut for start debugging. That means you can see the output of your application by simply pressing on function key called F5, and Shift plus F5 is for stop debugging. So we have a feature called IntelliSense. So generation of list of keywords or methods and the names of them which can be used in that context is also IntelliSense. That means when you're typing you can see what are the names which can be used in that context will be coming in a list. That is called IntelliSense feature. This is a special feature in Visual Studio that helps the developers to know the methods and other property names which can be used in that context, so that it will make you easy. Without remembering all the method names and property names, still you can use it because we have a feature called IntelliSense. This helps the developer to code better. Now I'll show you a demo of Visual Studio. So this is my Visual Studio tool. As you can see, it's a Windows application. You can see a form is present here. On the left side, the server explorer is there, where the shortcut of that is Control plus Alt plus S. So here all the database connections like this will be present under database connections, servers, and Azure. If there any database present in the cloud, all the things will be present here, using which you can use and you can connect to your databases. There is something called toolbox. Shortcut is Control plus Alt plus X. So in that list of controls will be there, which you can drag and drop, and you can design your pages. To design them, you have to go to properties. Properties is a window where you can change some properties, like text I want to change on the button to button want to click. I can write it and automatically it will be saved, and you can see the text on that button is changed. Now if I want to write a code, double click on the click button, you'll be getting an editing window in the same place. You can see here I am writing as label1 dot text equal to, you clicked on the label, you clicked on the button. So this text message will be displayed on the label as soon as you click on the button click. And we also have a window called error list. That means if you are making any mistakes, for example, if you miss the semicolon, you can see one error is listed here, and it is saying semicolon expected. When you double click on this one, automatically the cursor will be displayed on the place where the error is there, and it will also show the message clearly that semicolon is expected. You can add a semicolon at the end because it's a C# code. And this is your, on the right side we have Solution Explorer, which contains the project and all the files. For example, form1.cs, program1.cs is there, and if you need any folders, you have to create it here. And finally, this is for start of your application. That means the output will be coming up. Shortcut is F5. You can click on this to see the output. So you can see this is the output of the application. When you click on this, the label text is changed to you click on the button, because that is the code we have written in the editing window. So this is how Visual Studio can be used. And finally, IntelliSense means, for example, when you write L, you can see the list of things will be displayed there. All the methods, properties, and other things, events, everything which you can use in that context will be shown here. By using this feature, I can see that label 1 is automatically listed there. Dot, you can see text. It is giving me some hint to write some code. This is called IntelliSense, and this will help the developer to write the code easily. Thank you.